breaking news.
Let's get more now on our top story.
How do I know what I'm missing?
Our group gains ground in Anbar province.
By not having the persistent
this is going to go down in history.
ISR across the theater.
Syndrome.
The intelligence business at its most basic is very simple. There's a U-2 flying somewhere, there's some other aircraft that has a whole bunch of intelligence that's coming off of that particular aircraft. Somebody needs to look at that information and make sense of it. What the DCGS Ops Center and all the sites around the world are doing is taking that data, making it usable information, and then passing it back to the warfighter as soon as possible. That's what distinguishes DCGS from other forms of intelligence. We're closest to the sensor, and we're earliest in the intelligence cycle within that 0 to 24-hour window. DOC in this case stands for DCGS Operations Center. What you really see is the heartbeat, the hub of DCGS.
Hey, can we make that pad change to DGS-1?
DCGS is the whole enterprise, Distributed Common Ground System. So this is a DGS, it's one of the distributed sites.
If we're looking at a geospatial intelligence analyst crew or an imagery crew, we divide them into two sections. We look at those who are going to support high altitude missions, and then those who are going to support full motion video missions.
Go back, take a video now.
If you're on the ground and you're standing outside of a building and you don't know what's in there or who's in there, that's where full motion video comes in. We'd be watching that building for days, months, weeks, and years, and we could tell you how many families are living in there, how many adult males are in there, how many women, how many children, and you can tell if someone's left-handed or right-handed from some of the training that we've gotten. So we're building patterns of life.
High altitude is, we fly at a very high altitude, and it's still pictures taken.
High out, you're doing a lot more. What's here today, what was there yesterday, and we base a lot of it off of historical data that we can research, and full motion video doesn't have that.
The DGS has a lot of the imagery focus, which is a lot of images, and you can see that stuff. Signals is more intangible, I guess is a word you could use. It's anything from communication signals to proforma to radar signals. It's stuff you can't necessarily see.
Bravo 60005807.
The DART helps us out a lot. They'll give us background information on what we're doing and why we're doing it.
They have the ability to take the significance of signals intelligence and imagery intelligence and give you a good assessment as to what it means.
There are 5 main DGSs. None of them are co-located. They're spread out around the world. And each of them are responsible for a different area or region, so that each of them develops an expertise, but at the same time, we retain redundancy.
DGS-2 primarily focuses on NORTHCOM and sometimes SOUTHCOM missions. DGS-2 has FMV, high altitude, and high altitude OBC mission, which no other DGS has. We exploit and disseminate products to customers, similar to what they do on the ops floor here. However, we are exploiting physical film. The film comes from the U-2. So we actually go on a light table and digitize that film with cameras, and then we bring it onto our systems and exploit it that way.
The mission of DGS-3 is to provide a clear intelligence picture as to what is going on in North Korea, as well as the theater at large, to the commanders here on Peninsula. So that they have a solid understanding of what the reality of the threat is and whether or not we need to make any decisions to counter that threat on a daily basis. What is unique about how we execute it here at DGS-3 is that we work as a combined operation directly with the Republic of Korea. So Republic of Korea airmen are stationed at our site, and we work hand in hand in a way that is not seen anywhere else in the enterprise.
Here at DGS-4, we work 3 different COCOMs, UCOM, CENTCOM, and AFRICOM.
Looks like this one guy, the 5th guy just branched off.
depending on that COCOM, depends on what kind of mission we're doing. So CENTCOM, it's more of a combat role, providing the ISR that they need so they can conduct strikes, save people's lives, perform rescue operations, things of that nature. UCOM is more indications and warning, posture, where things are going, how they're moving.
Check!
If we can tell that one of our adversaries is moving a lot of equipment, troops, there's a lot of buildup in a certain area, we can alert people to say, hey, this is going on, so they can, make policy, alert NATO allies, alert the UN and things of that nature.
Here at DGS-5, we focus primarily on FMB and SIGINT, and we're looking at the PACOM AOR, so all of those Pacific countries. We do focus on that indications and warning and looking at what if something were to happen, but sometimes that what if is a humanitarian event, and we are able to look and see in that country if something were to happen, how can we help? Where are the biggest areas that need military aid? And that's something that we can see from the sky.
I think the phenomenal thing about DCGS is it's a place where many different Air Force core capabilities and specialties come together. We have 15 or 20 different AFSCs that are scattered around DCGS, and none of it would work without everybody working as a coherent, well-functioning team.
I didn't realize how many things like the stuff we see on the news could happen all the time. I didn't realize how many threats we thwarted. So all these people that I work with, and all these people that are pulling 12-hour shifts and working these long hours, and devoting themselves to this, are doing a job that really helps provide a blanket of protection over the entire United States of America. It's great to know that there are so many people looking and protecting us 24 hours a day, 365 days a year, all the time. Absolutely. Seeing everything that could go wrong and stopping it before it does.